What's up? It's your big brother K-Rino, and I'm smiling like this because I don't believe in coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence, and I got kicked off at a really questionable time just now. So I'm gonna wait for everything to start back over, and then I'm gonna start back over. Plain and simple. We're gonna start back over, and because this is information that has to be uh, disseminated. I have to get this out to y'all. We're not gonna let the powers that be shut the game down like that. Just not gonna do it. So let me do something real quick. Y'all bear with me for hot. I gotta do something real fast. All right. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button as y'all come in. Y'all hit that like button as y'all come in. I got booted off. Y'all remember back in the old school days when the internet first came out and you couldn't be on the internet, and then you could be on the internet if somebody called your phone, then it kicks you offline. That's what that felt like just now. But I'm not gonna go into any conspiracy theory stuff. But what I was saying was this, man, and I have to run it. So if y'all heard it the first time, you got to hear it again. I'll try to just make it a little shorter. As we move into 2022, anytime you go into a new year, the first thing you start to do is reflect on all of the things that you experienced in the previous year. Your ups, your downs, your wins, your losses, um, people that didn't make it through the year, any personal growth that you may have had, people that you may have hurt, relationships that may have been built, relationships that may have been destroyed, and just by whatever circumstances. And you start to think about where you're going forward and what's going to happen moving forward going into the new year. And we have to also understand that us just declaring or saying Happy New Year to somebody, or even just saying what I'm going to do and making resolutions and all that, that's not going to change your condition. Of course, everything starts with having that thought. Then everything starts with just declaring it to yourself and putting it out there, but and praying for it. But the work has to be done at the same time. So as you move forward, you have to be focused and thankful. And the first thing I said before I got off the other, for whatever reason, I got bumped off the last time, is how thankful that I am. Very thankful to God that He would allow myself and He would allow those around me and all of y'all to make it through another year up until this point, and to be blessed to get through that that 365-day cycle. Um, but we can't take this for granted because, as I said earlier, we got to understand something. A lot of us came into 2019, leaving 2019. We was all screaming Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Oh man, we was happy and celebrating and hugging and doing everything that we do, ready for 2020 to come in. And many of us had a lot of dissatisfactions about 2019, not knowing what 2020 was going to bring about. And 2020 brought about some unforeseen and unprecedented circumstances that turned the whole world upside down and continue to do so. So after 2020 ran through, this time last year, we were all sitting around hollering about how we couldn't wait for 2020 to be over. Can't wait for 2020 to, man, this was horrible. This is the worst, man. And we had all kind of memes and jokes about how bad 2020 was. And um, So many things took place in the judicial system, and wicked police officers and judges and corrupt politicians, all these different things we saw, and we were so ready to get out of 2020. We were ready to get out of 2020, come into 2021 and receive more of the same. We received more of the same going into 2021 because we don't necessarily factor in, and even if we factor in, we don't necessarily know how to deal with or prepare for what's called the unknown. So 2021 brought about remixes, that's the word I used last time, remixes to what was labeled as this global pandemic that struck the entire world. And when we thought that, okay, well, we're past that part, then two more mixtapes dropped. And even to back up a little bit from that, the beginning of 2021, it set it off in a way that made people of wisdom understand that, hey, man, this thing doesn't really necessarily show any signs of improvement when you saw terrorists storm the Capitol building. And I'm just recapping what I said earlier, y'all. When you saw terrorists storm the Capitol building and it looked like a scene out of a movie. And black people were sitting around like that was the main narrative. Man, what if that was black people? Because there was so many protests in the year 2020, and there was so much criticism about, oh man, these black folks out here rioting and protesting. That was the words that they used. Not protesting, rioting. Everything we do is a riot. Every protest is a riot. And yet we see all these people storm the Capitol building, and most of them came out unscathed. They're just starting to get some jail time here and there, but I mean physically unscathed. So we saw the continuation of America's hypocrisy going into 2021. These are just different scenarios, just things that we're laying out. So to say Happy New Year, okay, that's a sentiment that we just have been traditionally accustomed to granting to people. But again, I'll quote the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He said we should offer God's peace to each other moving into the new year, because the new year is not guaranteed to be a happy new year. So you say God's peace, you wish people God's peace, because if you have God's peace, then you know that things are not going to necessarily always go good, but you'll have the understanding and the peace of mind from the Creator that, hey, He got me. And I can move forward with the composure and the belief and the faith that I can acquire the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding to work through it if we implement the right techniques. So it's best to offer people God's peace, to wish them God's peace in going into the new year, because we've seen that the new year isn't necessarily guaranteed to be a happy new year. These are the things we have to understand. This year brought in a new president, and that was part of the whole riot at the Capitol, and the terrorist attack and the storming of the Capitol was based around a portion of the American population not being satisfied with the transition into the new administration. So what happened was they bum rushed the Capitol. But on the flip side, there were so many people who had a problem with the last dude who was in the office of president, that they were so blinded by the feelings they had against the last president that they did not take the time to fully vet and understand the devilish nature of the new dude that was coming in. So We wanted the old devil out so bad that we just couldn't wait. We had to get the new devil in. But now we starting to see, as many have I ain't gonna say many, but a lot of us have seen all along, new president, same America. The faces change, but the game remains the same. Same guy, different uniform, different styles of doing things. Trump had his way of being a devil. Biden's got his way of being a devil. So now we complaining about both of them. Still playing that same political game, still drinking that same political potion, which I said earlier was a political poison. Still believing that one of these individuals will magically transform our life when their history shows that that's not ever gonna happen. So we leave out of this year kind of under that same spell. And I don't ever want people to feel like there's something wrong with being optimistic or having optimism and hope for a better future. I don't ever want to discourage that mindset, but I do want to discourage the mindset of hope and belief for a better future when there's no work to bring it about. You can't do that. You can't just say, Happy New Year, magically, my life has changed. You can't make a resolution, which we do every year, talking about what you ain't gonna do no more, who you ain't dealing with no more, all these different people you don't like and you cutting off, and the weight you're gonna lose, and the drugs you're gonna stop doing, and the drinking and the smoking you're gonna stop doing, and the money moves you're gonna make, and the career changes, the life changes, the lifestyle changes, all the stuff that you say every year, that in less than a week we totally abandon. We totally abandon this stuff, man. So we will move into the new year, if we're not careful, we will move into the new year victimized by the same distractions, the same lies and the same deceptions that hit us last year, or this year, and last year, and the year before, and all the way back as far as we can remember. 2020 was a year of challenges. 2021 was a year of challenges. And I don't mean just personal challenges. I don't mean just economical challenges, literal challenges, social media challenges. Let's pour some water on our head with ice on it. I don't remember what year that was. That was a few years back. But let's make up this silly challenge. Let's stand on some milk crates and see if who can walk up the top of these milk crates. Let's do that. Let's make this dance up that goes on right in the midst of social injustice and racism and police brutality. Let's make a dance up. Let's play around for a little while. These are the distractions, and there'll be many more to come in this year. There'll be a new one this year, guarantee you. We already know there's going to be some new little silly challenge that we're going to all be doing. But I ain't going to be doing. A lot of y'all ain't going to be doing it either. There'll be another incident that causes outrage among the people. There'll be some terrible, wicked, dirty police officer who kills an unarmed black person or just does something egregious of that nature. There'll be ramped up efforts for mandates to get punched in the arm. You'll see stricter mandates coming into place. You will see stricter, this is just me talking, we could possibly see, let me say that, because I ain't talking like I'm no prophet. But you will start to see stricter mandates come in my opinion, where life as we know it will slowly start to change in ways that we're not prepared for, unless we get prepared for them. We get prepared for those changes. We have to understand that in this dispensation of time, the days and the weeks and the months and the years should now, and it's very mandatory for us that these moments, every moment, should now be viewed as us being at war. We should be fighting for our own liberation, fighting for our own sanity, fighting for our families, fighting for basic human rights. Jordan Carnes says, is that Keynes? Carnes says human conscious is evolving in a big way. They are concerned. That's right. That's why I said some. Because there are a lot of people that are waking up, and there are a lot of people who are in rebellion to the mandates, rebellion to the laws and the new things that are being implemented to try to slowly, not slowly, but quickly take away your human rights, the right for you to decide whether or not you want to drink the potion or take the punch. So the disunity that has plagued us this year, last year, and as far back as we can go, they are banking on that disunity flowing over into the new year. But what we have to do going into the new year is make sure that we use every day and break each day down into a microcosm of that being a new year in itself. Treat each day like it's the new year and reflect and look at the things that you did not in the past 365 days, but just yesterday, and figure out how you can make improvements on those things going into the day. Yeah, I mean, I know what you think. Oh man, it's kind of hard, man. I gotta get up, I gotta go to work. I gotta take care of these children. I gotta do this, man. I gotta get money. Nah, the mind is more powerful than you give it credit for. You are a more powerful being than you give yourself credit for. You're greater than what you give yourself credit for. So you restrict yourself by acting like or talking like you're not able to do multiple things at the same time. Take an hour out the day, 30 minutes out the day to reflect on yesterday. Did I offend somebody yesterday? Did I snap and go off on somebody when I shouldn't have went off on somebody? Was I rude? Was I disrespectful to somebody? Did I react in a way that was overly emotional and it hurt somebody's feelings yesterday? Did I grind as hard as I could have yesterday? Not just this year, but you can think about this year too. Did I accomplish the things I said this time last year I was going to work to accomplish? Did I procrastinate? Did I keep procrastinating? Did I keep laying around? Did I keep saying I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, and I never did it? Sometimes you got to stop thinking so much or so far into things. Study is good when you're trying to acquire knowledge, when you're trying to build up knowledge and gain information about certain things. Then you have to put in long hours of study and research. But there are other things in life where, like the saying goes, if you study long, you study wrong. Some things don't require all that intricate thought. Some things it's like, okay, I need to do this, get up and do it. You know you need to make up the bed, get up, make up the bed. You don't have to turn it into rocket science or calculus. I need to go in here, I got my office set up, I need to get in here and get to work, put this work in, get up and just do it. We waste more time in the contemplation phase than we do in the actual work phase. Well, let me see, man. And I got to do this. Let me think on how. Well, let me set this up. Got to pour me a drink. You know what? What's this on TV? Stop doing that. And last but not least, leave the blame game in 2021. Stop blaming people for your personal failures or downfalls. Stop making it be somebody else's fault that you didn't accomplish the things that you were trying to get done. Nobody has the power to hold you back but yourself. So everything that you say you're gonna do, it's all right to want to do those things. You don't say those things unless you want them. But how bad do you want them? Are you willing to get down? Are you willing to go through the hard parts to get it? Because nothing of value comes easy. Are you gonna say, I'm willing to go through the hard parts, and then the first time you hit the hard part, you say, oh, no, that's too hard, I ain't doing that. Or are you gonna build your character by pushing through it? So what is 2022 about? 2022 will probably be about more the same as 2021, just like I said, just ramped up a little bit. Things that you will see in things that we're seeing in the developmental stages may be ramped up, may be a little more in place and firmly rooted going into this new year. You might not be able to get on a plane this year unless you, maybe a lot of things they say you can't do. We don't know. How do you prepare for that? What are you going to do to prepare for it? See? What growth will you experience? And how will you use any setbacks or any situations that you had from this year? How will you use them to make you better going into this next year? Say you want more money. Well, I ain't no prosperity preacher. I ain't no preacher at all. But I do know simple cause and effect and simple mathematics. If you want to make something happen, you make it happen. You want better relationships. You want to mend relationships. You just do it. I don't get, oh no, she got to call me first. No, I ain't calling him. No, he was wrong. I ain't calling him. But you say you want to mend the relationship. You don't want to hold the grudge. If you don't want to hold the grudge, if I don't want to hold this pencil no more, watch this. Just let it go. Just let it go. And moving into the new year, let me make y'all understand something. Y'all might not already understand it, but for those who don't, just because you forgive a person, just because you let go of a grudge or let go of hate, that don't mean that you have to be right back ace boom coon buddy with that person. I don't care if it's a family member. The relationship, the connection may never be the same as it was. But what you want to do is get that energy off of you, because it takes too much out of you to just walk around with that. And it starts to express itself in your physical. You just mad, just scowled up. You don't even realize you're doing it. It ages you. It stresses you out. And when you let it go, like I say, it don't mean you're going to be hanging out, having pajama parties with that person and all that, but let it go. Be happy with your life and with yourself. And wish them God's peace. Amen. God's peace to you, man. Because if they receive the peace that you want for yourself, both of y'all are made better. Both of y'all are made better. Do y'all notice? Just give me a hand up, I know it ain't that many of us in here. Y'all hit the like button too for your big brother. But I want to ask y'all a question. And if you agree with me, just give me a hand up, a peace sign, some type of response. A yes, whatever. Do y'all notice how seemingly fast the years are going by? Doesn't it seem like this year went by like that? What about the year before? Even with all of the stuff that happened in 2020, it still felt like it went by super fast. You got to think about this for a minute. So much happened in 2020 and 2021. So from January 1st, 2020 to January 1st, 2022, that is a full exact 2 years, right? 2 years, which adds up, you math geniuses, 700 and what? 30 days. How many days in 2 years? I know 365 times 2. Somebody do the math. But we can vividly remember things that happened in 2020 like it was yesterday. And it seems like we remember what happened in 2020 just yesterday. January 2020, the first thing we heard about was Kobe Bryant. That's the first spark of what would become a crazy year in the year 2020 was Kobe Bryant losing his life in a helicopter crash along with his daughter and 7 other people. God bless him. 2021 was no different. We can remember everything. We remember George Floyd. We remember the trial. We remember, what's the guy's name? We remember the riot at the Capitol building. We remember the punch in the arm coming out in like less than a year. All these different things and details. We can remember these things because the days seem to be going by at a more accelerated rate. Why is that? Going by fast. Going by super fast. And not just these past 2 years, but you can go back 10, 15 or more. The acceleration of time. So if our minds are not accelerating at a fast rate to match with what's going on in these times, we're going to get left behind. We're going to get left in the dust. Because so much is happening that if you still back there, see, when a marathon starts or when a race starts, everybody's lined up equal. and the man shoots the gun and everybody takes off, then you start to see people separate from the pack. Only the best are going to separate from the pack, and those who are not good enough will be left behind. You don't want to be left behind. In 2022, you don't want to be left behind. We have let our thoughts shape our actions for the worse. Thought shapes all action, but we have the decision and the choice to make it lean to the right or lean to the left. What is your inclination going to be in 2022? So we're not saying Happy New Year. We're saying God's peace, because that's the best blessing we can get. Shout out to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You don't know if the new year going to be happy. You don't know if tomorrow going to be happy. You don't know. And this is not to be a discouraging message by no stretch of the imagination. This is a wake-up message. That's all it is. Because at a night, at a time where everybody is celebrating, everybody is hugging and cheering, and these are the times where the wicked ones are planning. See, the devil do his work while God's people are distracted. The devil does his work when God's people are distracted. So we happy and we celebrating, and don't get me wrong, we have reason to be happy, because the common theme about every new year, what's the common theme of every new year? There were people who started that year that did not finish it. There were people who had on the hat, the Welcome to 2021 hat. They had all that on. They was fine. And now they no longer with us. Shout out to the OG, the legend Sam Jones, who passed away today at the age of 88, the day before the new year. God is no respecter of persons. I saw where the actress Betty White passed away today. She was 99 years old. So the first thing crossed my mind was, man, she was 99. Then I saw that her birthday was January the 17th. So she was almost like 2 weeks away from making it to 100, which is a great accomplishment in these days and times. You get 3 digits. If your age get 3 digits on it, you did that. But God is no respecter of persons. So when it was time, it was time. So we look at it like, man, she just missed 100, but didn't make it. So people be thankful for the 99. Sam Jones, great legendary basketball player for the Boston Celtics, double salute, 88. Be thankful for the 88. See? Be thankful for your 25, your 32, your 46. Be thankful for whatever your age is. Because everybody in this room knows somebody who started the year off, but they didn't finish it. They didn't finish it. So be thankful, Amanda, for your 41. See? We have to prepare for the unknown. That's the marching orders. At all times, you prepare for the unknown. And the unknown is not always totally unknown. We know of certain things, those of us who believe in the scriptures and believe in where we are in the book. We know of certain things that are going to come and certain things that are already here and have come. But the point is, there are details inside of that, those things we may know about that we don't see coming. So that's an aspect of the unknown. You might say, well, okay, you know what? I know that this is going to happen based on what we already seen. But it might be something inside of that we didn't know. You got to prepare to fight a ghost. Look, you got to be prepared to fight a ghost. Hold on. Let me say this. You got to be so prepared in this day and age that you have to be ready to fight an invisible ghost with a blindfold on your face, with your arms tied up, and still try to win. That's the level of consciousness that we have to be on, that we have to get on. And there's no excuse. We have seen too much in just the last 2 years. I told you different presidents, same America. We have seen too much in the last 2 years. I don't care if you're 12 years old. Your antenna should be up on the wickedness that surrounds us on a daily basis. To go into this new year in war mode. And when I say war mode, what am I talking about? I'm talking about strapping up and nope. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that spiritual war. That fight for your mind and your soul. You know what I know is going to happen in 2022? I'm not a prophet. But one thing I can tell you, I can guarantee you that's going to happen in 2022, based on what we've seen in the past few years. The war and the fight to obtain ownership over your soul is going to ramp up. These devils who want your soul are going to increase the tactics and the efforts to pull you in to the spider web. Didn't y'all already know that? So picture yourself in an arm wrestling match, right? Everybody on this chat has arm wrestled at some point. I'm from the South. I say wrestle. Picture yourself arm wrestling, right? Boom, getting ready to arm wrestle, right? So the other guy locks in. So now you locked in, and then somebody say, go. So now y'all are. Okay, so now he ramps it up. So now you bending a little bit. What are you gonna do? You gonna, right? Then he gonna, so now y'all, and you get down and you some people might go and cheat, but the point I'm making is that when they pick it up, we gotta pick it up. You can't just submit. No, that's it. Yeah, man, they're stronger than us, man. Well, they got all of the intel. They got the weapons, man. They got the power. They can bring in the army. They can do this. They can do that. They have the ability, man, to take us down. We ain't got a chance. Well, if that's how you feel, then you don't have God's peace. And you probably right. If you feel like you don't have a chance, then you don't. They control the media. They control what information is passed throughout the airwaves, whether it be TV, whether it be radio, and whether it be social media. They have the power to dictate what you see and what you hear on a mass scale in terms of on a mainstream level. They got the power to do that. And they got the power to keep pushing it and punching it and punching it and punching it in your head. But you got the power to say, hold up, wait, let me go check that out. Stop getting all of your beliefs and ideologies from TV. From what the very enemy is telling you, you taking that and running with it. Some of us are so scary that we will claim we believe in God. We'll claim we believe in a higher power. But we will cling to the TV in hopes that these folks will find a magical way to lift this cloud, this pandemic, off of us. When in reality, he got no power over it. We don't understand that we're in a time of pestilence. Or as the minister said, the pestilence from heaven. That's deeper than what y'all understand right there. Pestilence from heaven. Man, heaven's supposed to be this wonderful place. Why would a pestilence come from heaven? You would think it would be a pestilence from hell. No, the pestilence from heaven. Because everything that we're going through right now, in these years that I'm talking about, these previous years and how tumultuous these years have been, through all of the mess that we're seeing and going through, the understanding that we need to have is that all of this is serving as a method of cleansing. It's cleansing. Cleansing. A lot of people getting sick in the last month. Raise your hand if y'all been seeing a lot of people just getting sick. Now we know the remixes is out, but a lot of people getting sick. And whether you believe in this or not, you got a bad witness if you see when an unusual amount of people are getting sick. Shout out to Detrius Betts. I appreciate the man. You say I appreciate the knowledge and wise word, bro. All praise is due to Allah. That's the God, man. I say nothing of myself because I learned it from somebody else. I appreciate you, man. Cool shades, man. Make me want to loke up. My lokes, man. You made me want to loke up just because I saw you loked up on your picture. Loke up. We're going to loke up going into 2022. Loke up on these boys, man. We have to ramp up our efforts to fight for our soul because in the end, depopulation is real. The devil is real. And he ain't under no ground. And Satan is real. Satan and the devil ain't necessarily the same. That's another story. We got to stop being so married to rituals and empty traditional practices. I hear people outside shooting guns right now. For what? Why? Couldn't wait all year long to shoot that gun in the air and totally ignore the law of physics. One of the laws of physics, basically, that what goes up, I ain't going to say the second part. No, Christopher, they ain't all fireworks. They're not all fireworks. Let me see what y'all talking about, man. We're talking about recapping 2021, going into 2022, looking ahead. What can we expect? What will be your move? Are you going to start being wiser with your finances in 2022? You going to get off your mama's couch in 2022? You going to stop living off your woman in 2022, bro? You going to stop selling dope in 2022? We going to stop using drugs in 2022? We going to stop killing each other in 2022? We're going to stop perpetuating the lies that have been passed down to us through generations in 2022? Take baby steps. Hold on, I just saw something real good. Oh man, had to be my brother, Micah Israel. God lifting his hand and summons pestilence in the land. He quoted my lyrics. Man, no respect between man and woman. Storms, earthquakes, and famine coming. Come on, man. Who wrote that? And we at war, and people out here wasting ammo. See, Naisha Walpole just dropped some science, and I'm gonna hit it on a different kind of level, Sister Naisha. You say we at war, and people out here wasting ammo. From a physical point of view, that's like I said, he's shooting these guns in the air. I heard a story about a lady who was just standing around outside, and a bullet that had been shot in the air came down and just struck her in the head. When you shoot them bullets in the air, they got to come down. They don't just dissolve in the air. But to your point, we are at war and we out here wasting ammo. That made me think about the spiritual war. We having a spiritual war for our soul and we wasting ammo. The ammo is knowledge. We're not properly utilizing knowledge and wisdom. It's just going to waste. So that statement is deeper than you might have thought it was. See? Amanda GD, appreciate that. Alan Crooks in the building. Drop y'all locations, man. Because I told y'all I wasn't going to hold y'all long. And I meant that. Drop y'all locations so I can shout out y'all city. We got to escape that Satan grip going into this year. We got to work on ourselves. Me, you, him, her. We got to work on ourselves, man. When you master self, everything around you becomes easy. So I'm told. So I've been told. But you know what the biggest One of the biggest things that I want you to focus on, a lot of big things. One of the biggest things that we need to focus on going into 2022 is our health. Focus on increasing your immune system and making yourself healthy, man, to the best of your ability. Read what you got to read, learn what you got to learn, study what you got to study, and apply principles that will get you healthy. If you're eating that pig, stop eating it. I don't care how good you hollering about bacon tastes, ham and pork chops. Stop eating pork. Wean yourself off of it if you have to, but really the best way to shut down anything is the one-step program. Just stop. Stop doing dope. Stop getting drunk every night. Because the things that we do to our bodies, they eventually manifest themselves on an outward level. But if we could see what it does to us, so you can't see your kidneys. You've been drinking, you've been alcoholic or drinking for 15, 20, 30 years. You can't see your liver. You can't see it. But you might be horrified if you did. So you go on because you can't see it. But if you drank a lot, smoked a lot, did a lot of dope, ate bad, if everything that we put into our bodies immediately or manifested itself on an outward level in a more extreme level, some of y'all will still do it. But if every time you just drank too much and just a big old green blob just came on your face when you did, you would be like, oh, I gotta stop doing that. Because it reflects outwardly. See? But you're not respecting the unseen, that which you can't see. You can't see your lungs. You can't see what them cigarettes are doing to your lungs. Can't see it. Till the doctor tell you. Can't see what it's doing to your kidneys, which is your filtering system. It's the organ that God put in you to filter out toxins, but you overloading it, overworking it, it's going to break down. So if you love yourself, it can't just be words. Let's do something else moving into 2022. Let's work to make other people better. Let's not be envious of each other. Let's work on celebrating the successes of other people. Focus on that. When your homeboy get a new car, be genuinely happy for him. Your blessing coming. You ain't got to feel bad. He worked for his car. Work for yours. Get yourself together. I'm trying to. I ain't saying nothing to y'all that I don't need to be doing myself. Except for the cocaine and the crack. And I don't do none of that. See? Make somebody else's life good. Don't be so aggravated all the time. Don't, like the saying goes, do your best to not look and act what you're going through. Don't look like and act like what you're going through. Balance that out. Moving into 2022. Simplify life. Don't be like Murder One. You've been trying to get him off cocaine for years, man. He just won't stop. doing it. Shout out to the OG Murder One, man. Y'all give my brother the OG salute. Anybody who's on this chat on a regular basis, and if y'all know what it is. If you don't know, then anytime one of our SPC OGs or any OG from any genre came in, Willie D was in here last week. This week we got the OG Murder One, man. Y'all give him a salute. Power fist, peace sign, fist 100 salutes. Y'all hit that right now, man. Y'all start doing that right now for my big brother Murder One. Salute my OG, because he's been in this thing longer than me. And he's one of the OG South Park Coalition members, man. So we always pay homage when any of our brothers come into the chat, man. He came in right on time, and he came in right towards the end. So right now, man, stop what you're doing. Salute the OG Murder One. Y'all know what time it is, man. Straight up. Straight up, man. Give my brother some love. Give my brother some love, man. There you go. We're going to get him in rehab this year. 2022, we're going to get Murder One in rehab. Wish people peace, man. Two of the best things you could say to somebody is, God bless you and peace. That's two of the best things you could say to somebody. Best thing you can call somebody is brother or sister. Let's stop using derogatory terms to refer to each other. N-word this and N-word that. Females, stop calling each other B's and H's. Even that's your homegirl. Well, we friends. That's how we talk to each other. Stop talking to each other like that. It's like to say queen. It's like to say sister. It's like to say my brother. What up, king? Use your time wisely. Stop holding grudges. Understand that the new year is like a new house. And when you move from one place to a new place, which we're moving from 1 year, the old year, to a new year, when you move into a new house, you're not gonna bring stuff from the old house that you don't need no more. You're not gonna bring stuff that was broke down that you should have threw away when you were staying in the old house. Peep the principle. That old chair you've been having for so long that you tell people don't even sit in it because they sit in it, it might break and fall. Why was you keeping that chair all that time? See, that chair represents something internal. Let that go. Leave that in the house. Put that on the thing for heavy trash. And whatever you bring into the new house, which is the new year, make sure it's things that are still good from the old house. Oh, man, my big screen. Oh, yeah, this big screen's still good. I'm taking this to the new house. It's good. Okay, so I'm taking being more motivated. I was really on my grind the last 5 months of the year last year. I'm taking that with me to the new house, the new year. See? I'm taking this positive attitude to the new house, the new year. What about all that other stuff you was doing, man? Like I say, all that dope and all that confrontation and fighting, and that's some old stuff. Leave that at the old house. You're gonna move into a brand new immaculate mansion and bring that raggedy furniture in there. Can't do it. Be more generous this year. Give more. Help people. Sacrifice. For being so stingy. All right, man. It's your big brother K-Rino, man. I wish y'all God's peace going into the new year. Blessings to y'all. Appreciate y'all time. Peace.